This is what it takes.
This is what it takes,
At a young age, that got that idea in my head. That's what it takes to become where we want to be, which is the Billionaire Boys Club.
We're trying to go BBC here, Billionaire Boys Club. We're doing this to document the journey, but we're also doing this to help people, because if we can do it, you can do it.
Why do you try and do the biggest thing possible? Go for it all. You're only here one time.
Started from the bottom, now my whole team in. Nigga started from the bottom, now we here.
Welcome. Here we go. Episode 1. Started from the bottom. So we've been trying to record this episode forever. We finally have it set up. My son and I recording a podcast together. We're going to document my journey. We're going to document his journey. We're going to talk about my story, how I came up. Obviously, people are going to be like, man, it started from the bottom. His dad's rich. I mean, he got spoon-fed. And so for everyone out there that thinks that, this is for you, because that's definitely not the case. My dad did do well. He put me in right positions, but nothing was handed to me. And graduated civil engineering 05 and thought I'd be balling right away. And
what were you making right out of college?
I got a pretty good job for Smoot. I interviewed well. I just didn't know what I was doing yet. I got out there and I'm like, oh man, I don't really know what I'm doing. But I learned fast there. When I got my first check, I was like, what the holy shit. And by the way, we're going to do a little cussing. So if you don't like cussing, probably shouldn't watch.
And the reason why is because over here, we don't give a flying shit what people think.
We don't give a shit. So anyway. All right, so let's get that out there. But anyway, I was working at the zoo, helping build that for Smoot, and was a field engineer. I learned a lot. I got my first check. It said $586 after taxes, insurance. We had a small family. You trying to live on that for the week? That's tough. I was like, holy hell, I'm not rich at all. I thought I'd be balling, not even close. I was like, man, I got to get some other sources of income. So it took a while. I had to learn. Best thing I ever did was start working with my dad. So he obviously didn't give me anything, but he taught me a lot. First couple of days, seeing him work, I was like, wow, that's how it's done.
True work ethic.
Yeah, I mean, he got after it. So it's just a different gear, just 90 miles an hour the whole time, getting all this stuff done, but doing it right, doing it the right way, and just delivering everything in all kinds of different things, all kinds of different incomes. And I'm like, wow, okay, so this is what I need to do. So I started studying him. Obviously, I was working in an architectural firm, learning a lot about drawings. I did civil engineering, but I was learning about architecture because I like construction. So I figured that out quick too. I wanted to do construction, but architecture goes hand in hand. So we started learning all about architecture, construction, drawings, putting drawings together, which it's all part of the puzzle. Work for him. And pretty soon I'm like, man, I don't have enough money. I got to make other money. So looking for anything to do on the side. So they have 400 apartments, him and his brother. I started painting on the side, painting every time someone moved out. I would go and paint that unit and make some extra money. Yeah, at first I wasn't very good. Pretty soon I got better and better, so I'd go work 8 to 5 for him.
Let's take a step back. So during the time when you were working with your dad, what was the biggest lesson, I'd ask?
Work your ass off. So that's number one. And
got to put in the work.
Anything's possible if you put the work in. So I obviously started trying to do that. So I was trying real hard at, working for him. I was trying to make extra money. So pretty soon I'm painting all the apartments on the side. Anytime someone moved out, I wouldn't let anyone else do it. I started painting them all. So I was making pretty decent money, back then. Was able to save some money. I was like, man, I got to do something. First of all, we were able to live because we could barely live off what I was making before. So I was making a little extra money, starting to stash it. I built up like 20 grand, which was a lot back then, especially for me. And there was a lot that became available near the country club. And I'm like, hey man, how about this? So we got it in contract. It was for sale for 20. I think I got it for 17.5. And walking distance to the country club. So that's a great location. Skinny lot. So we designed this house. I did the drawings. Obviously, he helped me with the design.
Country club. What country club?
Country club in Newark.
Mound Builders?
Mound Builders, yep. Yeah. Actually, you came over there while we were building it, and you helped the tape.
So when he was building it, how old was I? I still have a picture in my head.
I would say, yeah, I could see that picture too, but you were probably 5.
That just showed me like what it takes to be at the next level. It takes hard work. It takes...
Right.
He was out there doing a lot of the manual labor just to get his costs down.
Right.
And that's what it takes.
Right. And so you didn't really understand that back then, but now you do. So yeah, I was out there. So we got the house design, bought the lot, and then, Gare's like, well, go ahead. This is your baby. So I went, I was like, shit, man, my ass is on the line. I got to pull through here. So, ran the whole job. I was out there pouring footers, coordinated everything, waterproofed the block for the crawl space. They had like 2'6" of topsoil, so we made it a crawl space instead of bringing in all that fill. That was a lesson right there. I mean, you learn every time you build something, you learn. It was out there framing, siding, trim, roof, pouring concrete. I was out there doing a lot of it. So that's how you really learn. You're out there doing it with your hands. So we got it built and got it rented. And I was like, oh my God. And I actually got more rent than I even was trying to get. So I'm like, this is great. So my dad's like, yeah, all right, we can start partnering on these. So I was working for him. We worked out a deal. We're 50-50. We started doing those houses together. The first one was on Empire over behind Meyer. We got that done, got that rented. And then from there, we just kept finding another lot. We did a lot behind Hinder Honda. I think we did 7 or 8 back there. Did one behind Meyer on Empire. I have the one on 31st Street. We did a bunch of those houses, and the goal was to keep them, hold them long term, and try to get them paid for. That's the goal. We didn't want to sell too much because not much left when you sell after you do commission, taxes, all that kind of stuff. So we're trying to build wealth, right? And then keep those long term. And I think we accumulated about 22, 23 houses, and those will all be paid for in 2029. So that's great. So started from the bottom because I literally did. I mean, yeah, I went to Ohio State, graduated, but that was the bottom. I was like, man, I don't know shit. I got to work my ass off. And that's when it started. So I worked about 80 hours a week for 5 years in a row. I sacrificed a lot. I didn't, every weekend I worked both days. I worked, after hours every night for the most part. Elizabeth was out there a lot with me. We get a babysitter. She'd come and paint with me. And then when I built those houses, we had to put money into each one, him and I. So he had the money. I was struggling to get the money. So I was painting and doing stuff, just trying to save that money so I could have enough money to put into each house because you had to put some money in to make it work, keep the cost down so the mortgage would be low enough so you get enough rent and you would cash flow. So I would paint the house to keep, that'd be less money I'd have to put in. I got a bid for $1,000 back then to paint one of those houses. It would be so much more now. And actually Empire, I took him with me to paint the house. He was like maybe 6 and he was with me the whole day. I painted the whole house. He had a big roller. He thought he was like helping. It was great.
I was doing something.
Yeah, it was great. And then we finished. I remember putting him in the back seat. We went home. We watched the night Ohio State game and it was a good day, man. Saved $1,000. I made $1,000 in a day, basically. Back then, that was legit.
And the lesson that I learned from that is I'm 6 years old going to paint an apartment with my dad, and it's on a weekend. It's before an Ohio State game, and it just showed me, like, this is what it takes.
This is what it takes,
At a young age, that got that idea in my head. That's what it takes to become where we want to be, which is the Billionaire Boys Club.
We're trying to go BBC here, Billionaire Boys Club. I mean, we got a long way to go. But, the point is we wanted to start this forever. We're going to tell our story. We're starting to tell it now. And then we're going to talk about projects. We're going to talk about everything. But we're going to document the story of how we came to where we are now, where we're trying to go, how we're going to get there.
Make this clear. We're separate. Basically, where he is going to be at and where I'm going to be at.
Right.
So,
it's 2 different stories. I got a different story than my dad. You'll have a different story than me. But my dad and I still did a lot together. We're partners on all kinds of things, all kinds of companies, properties, all that kind of stuff. But I do my thing now. He does his thing and we talk and we're partners, but that'll be similar to what we're going to do. So since then, we've done, all those houses together. We've done 2 self-storage projects, which we're going to get into detailing exactly how those were built, what kind of money we made, what kind of cash flow we're getting. And we're doing this to document the journey, but we're also doing this to help people because if we can do it, you can do it and all that kind of things like you see out there, that it's going to be pretty cool. So we're looking forward to that. Yeah, I mean, throughout the years, obviously we did the self-storage. We're getting ready to do 70,000 square foot of office warehouse next to the bowling alley. If you've been checking the videos, we just did one on that the other day. So we'll be doing podcasts and we're going to keep doing videos, updating projects on the site. We have a company that's going to help us with social media and they're going to be, taking this, editing the podcast, editing our videos and making them look all cool because right now it's just us doing it. Just, It's just raw, but it's
Raw.
real. It's raw and real. We have the office warehouse coming up. We got 24 new construction apartments coming up on Mao, right down from Sheets. That's going to be sick. We have a house we're getting ready to start in Deer Run right next to our old house that we lived there forever.
Right.
That's going to be a nice one. We had 2 houses in High Point we're going to be starting. We have a flip that's in contract right now. Sounds like it's going to close. And we have another house under construction on Brentwood in Licking Valley. So yeah, plenty to talk about. And we just want to document the journey. So, up until now, I've been fortunate enough, built a lot of equity with the storage and the houses. And each time I build a property, this house we're in right now, we can show you the basement. Pretty legit down here. But yeah, with all that, I'm worth about 10 million. And it's not bragging. This is just simply to document and to show everyone it's possible. We can help people. We can help people do this. It's not rocket science. If I can do it, anyone can do it. You just got to be hungry.
Our goal with this, all this social media stuff, is to just spread as much value to everyone around the world and try to see how many people we can just reach. Why not? I mean,
reach and help.
Ask that question to yourself. Why not? You only live one time.
Right.
Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you try and do the biggest thing possible? Go for it all. You're only here one time.
Right. So I was a millionaire at 36. My goal was 35. I didn't start doing anything until I was 25. And that's when I realized I got a long way to go. So 36, I missed it by a year. I'm at 10 right now. I'm 44. Another 8 years, I want to be 100 million. And then from there, you got to shoot for the billionaire club. So, plenty of progress to make here. And again, this is not bragging. If you don't like the content, don't watch. This is strictly to help people and to document our journey. We think we've got a pretty good story. My dad's done well. He's, obviously hundreds of apartments and all kinds of jails he's done. I learned a lot from him and we're still partners on everything. But I'm trying to take it to the next level and it's not going to be easy. I got my work cut out for me. He'll have his work cut out for him. But, my goal is for him to be bigger than me and me bigger than my dad. And that's how the dynasty this family's building. And that's what we're trying to do.
Building a real estate dynasty
Yep.
here. That's what it is.
Right. So yeah, we have we got the logo. We're really trying to build this brand. We got this MC logo. Peep the fit here. We'll be documenting the fit each week, and probably a different shoe. So that's just how we do it.
Right.
If you look good, you play good, We got all that coming. That's going to be fun. We're going to talk about entrepreneurship, business, wealth, how to create it. We're going to talk about a bunch of different stuff too. We love Ohio State football. We'll probably touch on that. Touch on different topics that we want to talk about. But the main thing is building wealth and how we can get there, what we've done to do it, and just documenting each project and how it's going. We'll get into details and we have nothing to hide. The only thing, we're just going to be honest and then, see where it goes from there. We're going to eventually, like I said, have coaching and groups and hopefully you guys can be a part of that sometime and we can help everyone reach their goals. So pretty exciting. We will also be having guests on, maybe not every week, but almost every week, because we got a lot to talk about just ourselves, but a lot of people will be having on, talked about, John Piles. He's a guy started being a hitting coach and then started teams. He's done very well, has a building. He's getting ready to build a house. He's got a great story. So just people out there that have taken a chance, have done well with business, have a good story. We'll have people like that on here to inspire, tell their story, and then so people can relate to that and then do it themselves.
And it's a good chance to network.
Yeah, network. Exactly.
Yeah, your network is your net worth.
Yep. Good point there, little Douglas.
He likes to call me Douglas.
Shout out
really know
Daly and Philly, Piles, Bill Lewis, Mr. Horse. Good shout out there. We'll have him on. That's a character right there. So that's a guy that he's done a lot, man. So every time you think you may be going to doubt him, he proves that he knows what the hell he's doing and he pulls something out of his ass. And all of a sudden he's NIL with the basketball team and the football team. It's like, what the hell? How do you freaking pull this shit off?
Like 2 weeks ago, he sent us a picture at Mar-a-Lago with Trump.
He pulls some shit out of his ass and
that's what
pretty awesome.
That's what happens when you go out and take chances.
Yep, take chances and make connections. And talk about a guy that's made connections. That's what he specializes in.
Right.
He has tons of freaking connections. He's linked in with Schottenstein now. Shout out Brian. We'll probably get him on here too.
Yeah,
Family is a legacy. The basketball stadium is named after them. So
that says something.
So yeah, I got 20 years of experience. We're gonna be laying it all out there, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, each week's gonna be a little different, but we'll just see how it goes, and I think it's gonna do well.
I can get through my little story a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I have always been into baseball. So I started my first travel season when I was 9. Our goal was to always play in college, go to the next level. There's always a thought in the back of my head that was saying, do you really like this? And there's always a thought saying, just like being happy. And for some reason, I just couldn't find the happiness in baseball fully. Like it was just kind of wasn't fulfilling to me. And I was watching my dad do all this stuff with construction, hustling his ass off. And I found interest in that. And I mean, I told him from a young age that I don't know if I want to do baseball. I knew from a young age, basically, is what I'm trying to say, that baseball was not going to be it for me. And I knew business was my way. I knew that from the very start. And I actually committed to Ohio State to play my junior year, sophomore?
Beginning of junior year.
Beginning of my junior year, October.
fall.
Committed to Ohio State to play baseball. I knew in the back of my head I didn't even want to do it. I was just doing it because all the noise in the background.
Other people were committing. And
Right. And
it's Ohio State.
I thought it was cool, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
it was cool.
It was cool.
Yeah, but I was doing it for all the wrong reasons.
Right.
And I learned from that. I became better from that. And now I'm just focused on learning as much as I can from him, learning as much as I can from my grandpa, everyone around me. Right now, I'm getting into wholesale real estate, which is basically you're finding a shitty house, get it for a good deal, get it under contract, sell the contract to a cash buyer, kind of like him, and you slap on a fee. That's pretty much the general idea of that. So
That's the gist of it. And if you get good at it, you can be doing big numbers.
Right.
And then that's like the start to get you into real estate.
Right.
And then really, I mean, you can use wholesaling for you can use it for storage, you can use it for apartments, houses, obviously. So to learn that skill will be key. Because I don't have it. I know kind of the gist of it, but I'm already in it. So I more need a wholesaler to say, here's the deal. And someone brings me a deal, but that could be you. Or that could be your wholesale team.
Right.
So that's great. And that could really like spark
some shit.
Shit
there.
of what we're doing.
So let's talk about some goals. You said your goal is to be by 50 years old. What's your goal? Net worth?
So it took me, let me see. So 36 to 44, I got 9 more millions. Another 8 years, I want to be 100 million, my net worth. Okay. And then from there, maybe another 8 years being the BBC. That's the Billionaire Boys Club. If you didn't know. If you don't know, now you know. So another reason we're doing this, doing social media, we're building this brand because we do think we have something special. We're doing a lot. Not many people know. If you're not putting it out there, people don't know. So at first it felt kind of weird. You're like, look at me, everyone. But that's not really it. Social media is free advertising now. People want to know this shit. I wish I would have had, something like this to watch when I was trying to learn about construction and real estate and storage and all that stuff. So now that YouTube's out there, Instagram, all those different avenues, I watch YouTube every day when I work out and I watch something I want to learn about. Right. So we want to provide that information for people. But also, as we continue to grow and scale, we'll be getting investors, and that'll be the next piece of the puzzle. Because so far, we haven't gotten any investors. We've done it with all our own money, and it's great. You keep it all for yourself, but to really, really grow, you get more squeeze in a big watermelon than you do just doing one project. So if I can be doing ours over here, and then 2 or 3, 4 over here with investors, I'll be getting a lot more squeeze in these watermelons than just this one, just this lemon. Right. So that's the goal. We'll be getting investors. We'll have no problem getting investors. But again, as we document it, this is like proofs in the pudding here. So really exciting. This is going to be great. We've been setting up for this forever. We've been talking about it forever. It's good to finally be here doing it. It feels good. It's going to be great.
Feels really good.
I think everyone's going to love it. So some projects we've done in the past, just so the viewers know, we've done a doctor's office with 2 apartments above it. We've done adult daycares in Youngstown. We've done waiver homes in Youngstown. I did 5 waiver homes at one time in Youngstown without anyone being a superintendent or anything. I ran them all from Newark. I'd go there once a week, supervise, and just had good crews.
How's that learning experience?
It was great. I mean, anytime you can start from, scratch to build something, go through all the process, get the permits, work with different jurisdictions, you learn a lot. And then you soon realize like nothing's going to stop me. I can figure anything out. And then you go through, you get them punched out, you get paid, and you're like, okay, let's do it again. It doesn't matter where it is really. So that was a good project there. Gateways to Better Living was the client. They were great. We did a lot of different things for them. Intermediate care facilities, we did 2 at one time there. We're still finishing this HUD renovation. It's like $2.2 million here locally. Obviously we're doing spec houses. So the 24 new apartments, we got this MC, see the logo. So those are going to be MC luxury villas because we're going to make them really nice. The office warehouse is going to be MC office warehouse. And so MC office warehouse Hopewell, MC luxury villas Mao. So I think the next one where we'll get investors will maybe be storage. And storage is, it's killing it. it. We just did the one in Hebron. It's just after 1 year. We're 56% occupied. That's ahead of schedule. Usually it takes up to 3 years. So great location. We got the systems down. Class A facility, great location. It's right next to Kroger. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better location. Hebron's blowing up. Intel's coming in. That's working out to be great. It's going to be a good thing. And I think storage might be the next project to get investors in. Obviously, we'll be talking about on this. But we're looking for land for that project again already. I mean, we got a bunch of shit going on, but we're already going to be looking. So,
and another thing is, not a lot of people really get this, but I have watched this man pretty much come from nothing. People don't understand that. I watched him come from nothing and just grind his ass off, and it's taught me everything I know right now is what I saw growing up. Him coming home late at night all the time, but I knew what it was gonna bring to the table later on, which is generational wealth. All that hard work pays off one day.
Right. And it's in real estate and companies. It's not a short game. It's a long-term game. But dude, 15 years, it flies by. The first house I built, that was mine. That's paid off. I paid that off a couple of years ago. That was great. It's been probably 12 years, maybe 13 years since I built that. It was a 15-year mortgage. I paid it off early. I was like, okay. It's an accomplishment. We paid another one off on Empire. I think that one's paid off. So we're looking to start paying some of these down too as we go. But we got to put money into these apartments. We got to put money into these office warehouse to keep these mortgages down as you build them so the interest payments aren't super crazy. Rates are not favorable, but you can't just stay on the sideline.
Right.
You got to go out and still make it happen. If you have to put more money in, so be it. You got to get out there and do it. This is basically just the introduction.
Yeah,
so,
little introduction of what we're going to be bringing to the table.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And it's going to be good. I mean, we talking about our swag. We got our
it'll be our
fit check each week. We'll have the fit check and
broad selection of
I don't
things.
know if they can see it because it's the first one, but we got the J's on today. We got the vest with the logo. We got the Nike Tech. The Nike Tech, I mean, Nike, if you're out there and you're watching, we can maybe do a deal because I got so many Nike Techs. It's ridiculous. So we'll see about that coming up. That's definitely in the future.
I'm big into working out, lifting, so I'm sure that'll show an appearance eventually.
We'll have some info about that.
Right.
Let's show them the basement real quick as we end it. Brian's going to step behind the camera, but here, check it out. We'll just, something quick here. We had this finished when we first moved in. We tried to save, and then we kind of decked it out as we went. But peep the basement here. It's freaking fantastic to watch games. We put this workout room in back there. We got a playroom down here, but this is the nice rec room to watch games, multiple TVs, and yeah, it's good. Well, thanks for joining us on episode 1, and real exciting. It's going to be a lot of fun, and you guys are going to really enjoy the content of what we're bringing to the table.